For week 4 head of house challenger, Big Brother instructed the housemates that a lucky dip will be going around, which will have numbers numbered 1 to 5. At the end, the lucky housemates that picked 1 to 5 will have to go ahead to challenge Doris in this week's head of house challenger. After the lucky dip, it happened that those that picked this number 1 to 5 is Jason J, Isabella, Zita, Ivata, and Denare. And at that, they proceeded to play a warm-up game. This warm-up game actually consists of pictures of housemates, Big Brother housemates from the first season, that is Sigo base season. And all they have to do is flip this picture. So the rule of the game is you flip a picture open and you search for a matching picture. If you didn't get that, you have to flip both pictures down, that you close and flip until you get them correctly. Anyways, Biggie instructed them to consider this as a fun game and a warm-up one. All challengers, including Doris, then goes ahead to participate in this warm-up game. At the end, they all did very well, including Ivata, but only Denare and Doris were the only one who matched all correctly and were able to finish as well, because most of them, while playing, the buzzer buzzed them out. But Denare and Doris finished quite on time and was able to match all pictures. Meanwhile, mind you, this is the first season, not even Sigobe season. Like I said earlier on, it's the first season. That's the season Ebuka participated in. And now to the business of the day, which is the main course. There is a life-size mat game in the arena, a die roller, a totem, and several obstacle tables. Biggie as well gave the housemates the liberty to move around the arena and inspect this obstacles table and what they'll be going into. Although I expected most of the housemates to be familiar with this game, but then it seemed as though they didn't remember, because going from the questions the challengers were asking, I doubt if they know this very game. So to play this very one, you have to roll a die, and when you get the number 6, you then go ahead to place your totem on the very game, that's on the mats. You have to place it on stats and then go back to roll again. And now if you get 4, you move to 4. But then there are obstacles in the course of playing this game which you must adhere to, since the number you land determines the movements you make on the mat. When you land the number that gives you an instruction to go into the obstacle tables, you have to do that immediately. So for table 1, using the provided spoon, you have to pass a ping pong ball through the ring and then place them on the bowl and return back through the ring again and continue your game. Table 2 requires that you pick any of the guns and then shoot at any of the 3 plates provided. For table 3, you're required to pick a slice of lemon and swallow. Table 4 requires that you inflate a balloon in the red cup and use the same inflated balloon to lift the cup and put it into the second red cup. Each housemate will have 5 minutes to play. At the end, the housemates who finish the quickest, the fastest, or who goes the farthest becomes our new head of house. And with that, Jason J was the first to play, which he did very well. He was able to finish the game, because most challengers were not able to complete their game, but he was able to finish. And up next, we have Zita, who was very fast. Regardless of the 3 obstacles she had to attend to, at the end, she finished the quickest. And up next after Zita is Ivata rather. So Ivata had a very rough time playing this game. She had to go to the obstacle table 1 twice and even have to play for a 6 to continue. In the process, she got to the end of her game. Not like she finished, she didn't finish, the buzzer didn't buzzer out, but she got to a part in the game that says game over. Such an unfortunate thing. She wasn't the only one though. Then I also encountered this, but I really felt bad for Ivata. Imagine after going through all those obstacles, and yet you didn't get to finish your game. Up next, we have Isabella. Isabella had a tough time, so many back and forth in the process of playing hers. But unlike the rest of the challengers, hers was a self inflicted one. From not getting her numbers correctly, most times maybe she won't add up properly, and Big Brother will tell her, go back to this, go back to that. At some point, she even had to do an obstacle table that wasn't the right one to do, and Big Brother still had to take her back to the right obstacles she was supposed to attend to. Well, lucky for her, or not fortunate enough though, but she was able to get to 27 before she exhausted the time allocated for the game. Isabella really didn't get the instructions, because imagine the first obstacle, which is going through the ring. She went through the ring to drop her ball, and started coming back. Instead of passing through to the ring again to come back and return the spoon. Even while picking the ping pong ball, she picked with her hand instead of using the spoon. Well, I guess they forget when it's their turn to play. Up next, we have Denari. Denari also had a tough time. The game wasn't just in his favor. From many obstacles, from taking the lemon to taking the ring as well, going through the ring. And at the end, the game buzzed him out because he landed on game end, game over, and he had to return back to his seat. And then to the current head of house, Doris. So Doris actually played well. Imagine having to do almost up the obstacles, from the balloon table, inflating the balloon, to shooting the plate. In fact, for the shooting of the plate, she did that twice. And yet she was able to finish the game before her time finished. Well done to Doris, but unfortunately she wasn't the fastest in the game. The fastest happened to be Zita, and with that, Zita becomes our week 4 head of house. She went ahead to choose Rooboy as her guest. In line with the theme of the week, Big Brother decided to go the memory lane and pay homage to housemates, ex-housemates who have been on this show but are no longer here with us. Francisca Owumi, we have Rico Suave, and I think Francisca and the first guys from, yes, they're from the first season of Big Brother Naija. And then we have Rico Suave from the Double Wahala season. May their souls continue to rest in peace. Returning back to the house, and Zita noticed that the pictures of the evicted housemates are no longer in the wall. And at that, she became very emotional. But Doris actually broke down in tears on realizing that she cried, especially for Sabrina. And they were so worried about Sabrina, and Big Soso actually said, well, maybe Sabrina saw that Tega was no longer returning back to the house and decided not to return again. I'm like, oh, really? Really? Well, Emisi said, well, that in the space of her picture, they actually dropped an emblem written peace. That it means that she's resting. But the housemates were like, please don't say it in that way. The Jasmine was like, please don't say it in that way. But she explained further, saying, no, it means that she's okay because they wrote peace. It means that she's cool, she's at home. What was his name? Kola as well also started crying for Sabrina. Well, it's an eviction. They'll still see the person after how many weeks. It comes with the game. They should better save their tears because small housemates will still leave the game. Congratulations to Zita on securing 2 weeks in for herself. All the best to the rest of the housemates. We can't wait to see who will be getting immunity and who will not get immunity, and how today's nomination will go. We don't know if Big Brother will decide to take the same pattern. You can't predict him. You always come with surprises, but let's see how it goes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I will see you in my next video. Bye. Head of house, Zita. Rooboy. Frog.